Before we begin today's meeting, I'd like to share a few thoughts. Of late, there's been far too many reasons to pause for a moment of silence to acknowledge a community travesty or a moment of great sadness in our country. With each one, we pause. We collect our thoughts or say a prayer. And for a brief moment, collectively, we think about those we have lost. This is our attempt to show support for each other and for those who are hurting. Anyone attending this meeting or watching on TV knows why I'm requesting that we pause for a moment of silence today. That the light that normally shines on Raleigh does not burn as bright because we have lost 5 people as a result of a senseless act of gun violence. This impact will be felt on our community for years to come, as many lives have been forever changed. We pause today to bring honor to each of those lives, and together we send hope and love to those who are feeling the results of this tragedy throughout our city and beyond. I would like to read each of the names of those who have passed away. Nicole Connors, Susan Karnitz, Mary Marshall, one of our own police officer Gabriel Torres, and a 16-year-old young man. I would also ask that you open your hearts and prayers to 2 other victims who are currently recovering from their injuries. That is Raleigh Police Officer Casey Clark and Marcel Gardner. Now, if you will please join me as we come together for a moment of silence. Thank you. As we continue to support our community and try to make sense of all that's happened, although I'm not sure we will ever make sense of it, we're pulling together a vigil called Raleigh Healing Together. This event will be held this Sunday from 3 to 4:30 at the plaza in front of Memorial Auditorium. It will include our partners, the NAACP, and Moms Demand Action, who have been working with us on gun prevention programs, elected officials, and a diverse group of community faith leaders. We're inviting the public to come and join us as we come together to reflect, remember, and honor the lives of those we've lost. This event is still coming together, so please check our website at raleighnc.gov for updates as we get closer to Sunday. There's nothing more powerful than seeing a community come together. So please come if you're able. I would like to ask our police chief to come up.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, and staff. I'd like to provide an update in the investigation of the August 13th shooting event that occurred in the Hedingham community. I'd like to first say that our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the families and the loved ones of the victims, as well as the greater Raleigh community. We stand with our community and we are working with victim services partners to provide needful services. From the men and women of the Raleigh Police Department, we'd like to thank the community for their overwhelming support, their prayers, their condolences, their expressions of kindness extended to Officer Torres' family, as well as the entire Raleigh Police Department. I met with Ms. Torres this past Sunday, and she asked that I share her gratitude for all that this community has done to honor the life of Officer Torres and to support her, her daughter, and the entire family. For members of the public, if you would like to support the Torres family, please email rpdsupport@raleignc.gov. For the past 5 days, the Raleigh Police Department's Homicide Unit has continued investigating this case, working around the clock to identify and interview witnesses and to collect evidence to better understand the sequence of events that occurred and the possible motives behind the suspect's actions. As part of the investigation, our officers and detectives conducted an extensive canvass of the Neuse River Greenway for additional evidence. The Neuse River Greenway is back open, and we do encourage for everyone to go back to their daily routines. With respect to the injured victims and suspect, we have received good news that one of the injured victims, Miss Marcelle Gardner, is still hospitalized, but she is improving. Our prayers continue to be with her. Officer Clark, who was treated and released on the day of the incident, is doing well. He is vibrant, energetic, just itching to get back to work. The suspect continues to be listed in critical condition. As we further investigate this incident, we are asking that if anyone has any information that they believe will be helpful, that they would contact the Raleigh Crime Stoppers at 919-996-1193 or leave a tip on our tip submit on our website, on the website for the Crime Stoppers. As with any officer-involved shooting, the State Bureau of Investigation is taking the lead in the investigation of the officers who discharged their weapons. The City of Raleigh's 5-day report containing a chronology of the facts that we are able to share will be presented to the City Manager's office this week. In closing, I'd like to thank all of our law enforcement and city and county partners who assisted the Raleigh Police Department in the response, the initial canvasses, the search, and the apprehension of the suspect. We want to thank the Raleigh Fire Department, Emergency Communications Center, Parks and Recs, along with Wake County EMS and Wake Med, who played a crucial role in caring for those who were injured. I especially want to thank the North Carolina Department of Public Safety for the coordination of resources and the City County Bureau of Investigation for processing the multiple crime scenes. We could have never restored safety and order to our community without the help of our partners. And while what occurred last Thursday was tragic, the Raleigh Police Department stands strong. We stand unified, affirming our commitment as a police department to expend every resource we have to keep our great city safe. Thank you for the opportunity to share this update.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you to you and the department and everybody, our partners, public safety partners, for their work. I also want to thank the governor for reaching out and having his team at the ready immediately. Feeling that support was really important. And now I'm going to ask the city manager to update us on some additional information.
Thank you, Mayor, and to council, if you'll please allow me a few moments to share a few words with our community. And I will try to do it without shedding a tear, which will be very hard.
So that means we can't look at each other.
So don't look. You know, there are very few people who have the honor and privilege to sit where I'm actually sitting right now. There aren't many people who can understand what it means to lead an organization in good times or in bad. I say all of this because I wanted to briefly share some insights about what it's like to go through what we have all recently experienced from the perspective of a public servant leader. I can honestly say that with almost 30 years of public service experience, nothing can truly prepare one for what happened late Thursday afternoon in our great city. As it's been said over and over again, this was a horrific event that will forever change the lives of many in our community. When the call of duty comes, we stand proudly ready to respond. As such, it is important for me to say that I am so very proud of how our men and women in the Raleigh Police Department, the Raleigh Fire Department, Emergency Communications, PRCR, and Communications bravely responded to the community's call for help when they were needed the most. And yet, here we are, 5 days later, and there are still so many unanswered questions. Like many of you, I am hurting and feel great sadness. What all of this means for the families most impacted, for our community as a whole, and for our organization, only the future will decide. It is my hope that we can come together as people, as an organization, and ultimately as a community, lifting each other up as we work through this travesty together. I can promise you that we are all committed to continuing the work of the people, and we will go on providing the public services that our community demands, expects, and deserves. We will do so with excellence and pride because that is what public servants do. But please remember, we are human too. And the pain that our community is currently feeling also exists for the men and women who work for the City of Raleigh. In an effort to assist in the moment of transition and healing, we are trying to provide some structure to all the efforts that are going on in support of our community. I've tasked our Community Engagement Office to create a web page that will coordinate and corral all of the information on support resources for the families and the greater Raleigh community. Additionally, we have created a new email, Raleigh Healing Together at raleighNC.gov, for anyone looking for additional support during this difficult time or anyone offering to provide some assistance and support during this difficult moment. And lastly, Mayor and Council, thank you for your continued support throughout the event. Last Thursday is a day I wish that I could erase from my memory. More importantly, thank you to the community for how you responded in the moment. And let's all remember, this will not define who we are. It is this kind of support that makes our community so special and why I love working and sitting in this seat as your manager for the City of Raleigh. And let it be clearly known, we will get through this together, for we are Raleigh strong. Thank you.
I'm not sure how we get through the rest of this meeting, but we will. First, we have the consent agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve? All in favor? Aye. Next, we have public comment. 3 minutes per person. Please remember the rules of decorum as you speak. And first, we have Lisa Huguet.
I really hate that I'm the first person up after that sort of transition, because I think there's one other person that needs to be added to that list. Maybe not a person, but Sammy, the 13-year-old Jack Russell Terrier that also passed away.